Hi guys, Mons here. On this episode of Ball Mons, we're going to be looking at the Premier League Game Week 23 review. And just before I get started, if you're subscribed to my channel so far, I appreciate all the support. If you haven't, please make sure you hit on the subscribe button. Thank you very much. So let's just get started. So this Premier League weekend was a fantastic weekend. Two games I enjoyed the most watching was Aston Villa versus Aston Villa and the Newcastle game, and also Manchester United versus Arsenal. So I dropped my Manchester United review yesterday already. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the other results I found very impressive in this week. So, of course, my risky pick alert landed. Will I ever get the credit? Well, of course not. Bournemouth beat Liverpool 3-2, late equaliser. I felt Van Dijk was very, very poor in that game. I think there was a players-only meeting earlier in the week. I think Van Dijk was the one that led it. I'm not 100% sure, but I heard reports about it. But if you're leading players-only meeting, or you're coming out in the press saying you need to do better and do this, you can't go out there making several mistakes, costing your team the 3 points as well. So Van Dijk needs to take a long look hard at himself and improve next week. And also, one of the games I enjoyed the most this weekend was Newcastle versus Villa. I picked Villa to win this one. That came off, of course. It's me. I'm like a crystal ball at the moment. I'm like a crystal ball at the moment. I have the Midas touch at the moment. Villa won. It was a brilliant game to watch, especially the first half. Villa were all over them. Newcastle couldn't cope with the way Villa set up in terms of the three players behind the centre forward, which were Jadon Sancho, Morgan Rogers, and also Emiliano Buendia, the real Emmy. They were very, very narrow. The three guys they played very, very narrow. And what I would also say is Morgan Rogers' worker was phenomenal on the day. I know everyone gives him credit for his attacking abilities. However, Morgan Rogers' work rate, anytime I see him play, he's always been fantastic. And he's having one hell of a season so far. Like I said, Newcastle couldn't deal with how narrow the three attackers were behind the centre forward in Watkins. Buendia's strike was immaculate. What a strike. The way he lifted the ball and dipped at the right time to the opposite corner, the way he stroked it across his body, fantastic. Brilliant strike. I also like the pairing of Onana and Tielemans. I feel that those two guys complement each other really well. Onana is more athletic, get up and down, throw in a tackle, where Tielemans more technically gifted. His physical abilities isn't quite there, but Onana that's why I say both of them are the two best pairing for Aston Villa when they're playing in the middle of the park, and they complement each other really, really well in my opinion. And also, I would give credit. I always come here and slay him. Emiliano Martinez, Emmy. The second Emmy, the real Emmy is Emiliano Buendia. Emiliano Martinez made some very, very good saves to keep Villa in this game. There was one early on the first half and then one in the second half. He basically won those points for Aston Villa yesterday, in my opinion. It was absolutely brilliant. For me, Eddie Howe should be under a little bit of pressure. That's simply not good enough. You knew exactly how Villa were going to set up. You still couldn't counteract it. I know they were all over Villa in the second half, but they couldn't find a goal. And also, Eddie Howe's going to come out this summer complaining about PSR. However, it blows stupid money on players like Voltemada and Elanga. I think Anthony Gordon is my guy, but I think Gordo, he needs to be dropped. He hasn't been performing well in the last couple of weeks. You can even say months. So I think they need to switch it up a little bit. Maybe go 4-4-2. Start Voltemada and Wissa together and start either Elanga on the right, Harvey Barnes on the left, or do something like that. You have to change it up. You can't keep going with the same thing. It's insane doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, in my opinion. That's just insanity, in my opinion. That's pretty much it in terms of that game. And what are we for West Ham? My guy Nuno is still fighting. He's still fighting his best to try and stay up in the league. I hope they stay up because I'm a big fan of Nuno and I like West Ham. And what about Mr. West Ham, like I call him, Jared Bowen? 1 goal and 1 assist in the day, and it was fantastic as well in the day. My guy also, Liam Rosenior, brilliant. I didn't get to watch the Chelsea game, but I saw the 1-3-1 away at Palace. Palace are in free fall at the moment. I think the morale in the team is completely down. It's in the dump right now. It's on the floor. But what I would say, Chelsea, I still have to go there and get the result. And Liam Rosenior has been fantastic so far. That's a very, very impressive win. I saw the scoreline was 3-1. Estavo got a goal and assist, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Fantastic. That's one of the guys I said was going to be one of the young players to look out for, because when you watch the Brazilian league, the Betano, you just know some certain players are always going to be good in whatever league they go to. And he was fantastic for Palmeiras, and I enjoyed watching him play for Palmeiras all over the last maybe 24 months. It was absolutely brilliant for Palmeiras. So that's why I thought Estavo was always going to be good for it in the Premier League. Disappointing result for my guy Quito. the GTEC Arena specialist. However, Sean Dyche went there, stifled them, and they got the victory. Very disappointing. Hopefully they bounce back this week. Good win for Fulham. Fulham back again after their disappointing result the week before that. They were 1-0 down, looking bleak. They came back 1-1, then 2-1 to seal the game. It's fantastic win for Fulham. Like I said, Liverpool, I think Slot's going to be gone soon. He's on his last legs. The players look like they're not listening to him. I think Slot bought too many attacking players and he's trying to fit all of them into the team. I know Isak is injured, but trying to fit Verts, Salah, and he's dropped Ekitike as well, which I think Ekitike is actually one of the best players I actually bought this summer. I think Ekitike has to start all the time. Fantastic centre forward. I think Salah came back from AFCON. I think Salah's heart is not Liverpool anymore. I think he wants to leave, in my opinion. I just think he needs to make some tough decisions and get some athletes into that team, some runners into that team, and maybe surround Ekitike with some runners. I believe Ekitike should be starting centre forward for Liverpool. That's pretty much my review for game week 23. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my preview for game week 24, and that's going to be dropping either Thursday or Friday. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you're any of the fans and missed the game, please comment below, especially Chelsea fan. I want to know how you feel about Liam Rosenior. Do you think he's a good manager? Do you think he's improved the team in a short space of time? Because I see the results has been good. So please drop the comment below if you're a Chelsea fan and you feel and you watch the game and see let me know how you feel about Liam Rosenior. That's pretty much it. Thank you very much. Make sure you hit on the subscribe button. Peace out.